Little short one heading home at the end of the day, and been trying to get out to this for a few days now, but I've been too busy. One room is not as cool as the other rooms, but they all share air. Even though the rooms are divided, the air is mixed, so the load is divided up between all 4 units, and every unit except for one has heads in every other room, making the system redundant. So even if one system went completely down, there's a head from another unit inside that room, and then say the heads from this one are in that one, then some in that one, so it's all distributed out, redundant. So even if one system completely failed, no part of the whole building ever is left without air conditioning. This is done with a combination of dividing up heads between rooms with fans that push air, with inducting, sharing it between rooms, in and out in all the rooms. Kind of an elaborate system, but the redundancy is excellent. But one room unfortunately had all the eggs in one basket. This one right here is only taking care of one room. That was a last edition add-on, and it was just happened to happen that way, where all the eggs were put in one basket. But even if this one unit completely failed, the other 3 rooms have air in and out of the one room that is this room. That's all on one system. So even with the air exchanges between these 3 rooms going into this 4th room, this room would still at least survive, because they have a triple redundancy with air exchanges into this 4th room. I hope you understood that. But the redundancy was thought out, the air exchanges were thought out, and keeping the system really minimalistic with super redundancy was one of the highest priorities in this situation. Now, you don't normally, on these kind of systems, I would normally hook up my laptop to them. I'd use LG software. I would read the expansion valve readings, the superheat and subcooling. I'd put them into test mode and everything like that. But LG is my baby, and I've kind of stuck just with LG, and that's about all I do. When you do one thing, you could get really good at one thing. They don't break down very often, so I haven't had to do a lot of repairs, fortunately. If you're in the kind of business where you like to do a lot of repairs, you sell American equipment. Train, Courier, Goodman especially, it always breaks down. Any of the American names break down all the time. You want to do the Korean or Japanese stuff, you're not going to make a lot of money on repairs because they don't break down that often. Like I was saying, you don't go by beer can cool. But since I know all these rooms are exactly the same temperature, all these rooms are sharing air, and all the heads are divided out between all these rooms, and I've worked on them enough years, and after you do several hundred of these units, you get to know by hand. And I know the old beer can cool method because I know the load in every room. Actually, every room I know exactly how many watts of power of heat, how many BTUs there is in every room, and I know what heads are in what room. I can hope this air is not washing out my microphone on my phone so you can't hear me, but I know the system might be a little bit low here. I haven't even walked in the building, I just came directly up here, and I'm gonna have to do some further tests. I'm gonna go down into the building and look at the heads and look at the filters. I know they clean the filters. They're very good now at cleaning their filters. They clean their coils. They know about cleaning, because these are all, and this one here is wall mount units, and I told them not to get wall mount units, but they went with wall mount units. All my other ones I installed, he listened to me, we got the more commercial high static pressure ducts in all the rooms. But unfortunately, I think this one he went with 4 wall mount units, and usually you have problems with wall mount units. But I'm gonna go check them, see how everything is. I think I made a video on this once before, and yeah, I think when my son was out here servicing and cleaning, because this was the place where over here they have an outlet for a spray booth for a automotive shop, and out of that duct over there, different color paint comes out, and the fumes and the dust from the paint clog these condensers because the wind blows in this direction right into the back of all these and clogs up these condensers. And he still never put a filter on here like I told him to. I told him to put up a mesh filter, like one of those carbon filters. They have filters in paint shops that absorb paint dust, but they let air pass through. It's what they use in the booth, and that should be put on here to stop all the paint dust from being pulled into the condensers, but he didn't use it. It's actually, the solvents are pretty corrosive on aluminum as they get on. They're starting to eat the condensers that are closest to that outlet of that duct right here, have more decay and are starting to corrode, compared to the one at the end is cleaner and has no corrosion. So basically the body shop next door is destroying this customer's AC units over time, which this will probably be the first one that springs a leak and corroded away, because it's within like 10 feet of the outlet of a spray duct that has solvents all the time coming out of it. And other than that, this is was an easy clean install. One of the things I always like, this is how I do my crimp connectors on my electrical. I use these kind of connectors. They're very heavy duty, they never fail. I've seen guys fail before and burn up, but these are really good connectors for electrical. So I'll get back downstairs and install that. My battery's about to die, end of day. I've already charged it up 3 times and it's drained again. See if it'll be a few days probably before I release this video. We'll see. Catch you on the next video, guys.